Hi YouTube, this is Ryan from Ryan's Journey. Survived a week, still alive. Um, Doing pretty good. I held off from making a few videos, making videos from that day 3 to now. I don't really want to make videos every day. I'd get boring after that. I'm already boring enough hearing myself talk, let alone you guys. But I want to do an update. This is my official week 1 official post-op update. I had my surgery on February 24th, which was last Monday. Today's Monday. And my surgery started at 9:45, and it's 9:30 in the morning right now, so it's almost exactly 1 week. I plan on doing my update videos probably on Tuesdays in the future. Maybe not the first couple weeks, but just think Tuesday work better with my schedule. Also, I think eventually the weekend is when I might eat more calories overall and carbs. And so just to give me that Monday to let things settle before I weigh in the morning of Tuesday. And I think I'm going to try to track every Tuesday's weigh-in on a weekly basis. So, but yeah, excited. If you guys might notice, look a little thinner. I'll do a body shot later. But this is kind of a weekend review. I have a lot of new subscribers, and I appreciate all of you. But many of you maybe didn't go back and listen to all of my earlier videos. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a review from why I did this and this weekend review also. So numbers. Let's get to the exciting things first. Numbers. So my pre-op first appointment ever at my surgeon's office was November 18th. At that day, at their scale, which I think is 3 to 4 pounds heavier than normal scales, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to use it, the weight. That weight was 326 on that day. Now, when I went into that appointment, so you know, I was only about 50% sure I was really going to do the surgery, maybe less. After I left there, I was about 85 to 90%. And gradually, as I did research with help of lots of you out there, I decided to go through with this. My surgery day was last week, like I mentioned, February 24th. My weight on that day, the morning I went to surgery on my own scale, was 294. Now, keep in mind, 3 days before that, I weighed 299. But I did a 2.5, almost 3-day liquid clear. And that's a key term there, clear. That's a different thing than just liquid diet. Because clear liquids is really hard to maintain for those 3 days, especially with a big stomach like I normally had. Afterwards, much easier. So 294. So that was a decent weight loss before, 326 to 294. You do the math. Today, March 3rd, 2014, I weigh exactly 283. Yep, 283. So that's 11 pounds for the week since surgery. You can add on that few days if you want, the 6 pounds before that, or the 5. But we're going to say 11 pounds in this week. And then my total weight loss from that first appointment date, November 18th, including my pre-op weight loss, is 43 pounds. So that's kind of amazing. A little over 3 months is 43 pounds. So next thing, Facebook. So many people have been asking if I have a Facebook. I do have a Facebook. It's a personal Facebook, and I'm not going to really talk, at this point at least, not going to talk about weight loss stuff on that Facebook. But I did create a separate one that's a weight loss Facebook. Gooch, or Chris, he already is the first one up as a friend on there. He friended me. And it's if you want to search for me there, it's Ryan's Journey, like a first name and a second name, 2 words, Ryan's Journey. That's where to find me. So see you guys over there. I'm sure that'll be fun communicating. I'm not a huge Facebook person. I'm kind of private, but I'm on YouTube. But I think I might use the the weight loss Facebook a little more than I use my regular one. Let's see, next thing. So I want to do a quick flashback from the beginning. I did tell you where I started from. The reasons why I chose the surgery, and I chose vertical sleeve gastrectomy. The reason why I chose that, initially I wasn't sure what I wanted. I considered it for 2 or 3 years. My weight has been over 300 pounds. I'm 6 foot. My weight's been over 300 pounds for approximately, I don't know, 5-6 years total. Maybe a little longer. But it's I've kept it actually in the low 300s for that time. And that in itself has not been easy. My weight has creeped up over the years. I was probably 200-ish end of high school, early college, and just gradually gained basically over 100 pounds a little bit at a time. 5 pounds here, 5 pounds here, 10 pounds here, 5 pounds here. I might stay there for a year or two, and then 10 pounds, and it is gradually gained. It wasn't, there's no mystery to it. There wasn't some, you know, 1 year where I gained 40 pounds. It was just 5, 10, 5. So I had been considering it for a while. I moved to Central California on the coast here, and the weather's really good. Part of why I moved here, the main reason why I moved here is my wife's family is from here, and we had a baby. My son is now, getting closer to, he's almost 3. He'll be 3 in July. When he was born, she wanted to be closer to her parents, so we transferred with our jobs up here. But there was some other goals in mind. One, I love the ocean, so I'm glad I'm here. But also, I wanted to use it to get healthy. Where I lived in Southern Oregon, it snows a lot. It's cold a lot. As many of you know, back east, dealing with the snow in the winter, where you go to work, you come home, and you just want to stay inside where it's warm. You don't want to knock the ice off your car. So that, I feel like I gained weight up there because of some of those reasons. I wasn't good enough about going out and going to the gym. I did have a gym there. I've always worked out. Even though I've gained weight over these years, I've always worked out, just not enough. And I didn't watch what I eat enough. I overate. So that's led to the weight gain. But when I got here, not only did I want to get healthy, I also started really checking with my doctor. I got a family doctor here, and we did blood tests every 6 months, like regular, and we're trying to deal with things. And right before I moved here, I realized that I had gout, high uric acid, and this was debilitating. It would happen. It started out once a year. It would happen once every 2 years. I'd get a flare up in my ankles. I'd wake up and it's like I severely sprained my ankle and I couldn't walk on it. It was kind of a fluke deal. And then as time went on, it happened a little more, so maybe 2 times a year. And toward the more my weight gained, and plus, also I found out after I have sleep apnea, which I was getting to, but sleep apnea actually, when you have the episodes, increases the uric acid levels. So that would also in turn have these gout issues. And I once, not long before I decided to move to this area, when I was in Oregon, I had to be rushed to the hospital by my wife because the pain was so severe in my ankle that about 1 in the morning we had to go and just yelling, screaming, moaning in a hospital room, waiting for hours until I can have finally some kind of pain medication to get me through it. So that was kind of the beginning of when I noticed things were bad. That's a few years ago. So since I've been here, I found out I got on a uric acid medicine that kind of curbed that pretty good. So I take 1 pill a day for that, which is allopurinol, is what it's called, or allopurinol. That's helped immensely. Another pill that I take every day now, as of the last year and a half, is for a thyroid. Now that might not get better. That's the one thing of all my things that might not get better, but that's a new thing. And I take a very light dosage once a day to help keep my thyroid right. And so that's a pill I take. And then I take a vitamin D 3 times a week. So the medications just kept adding up. And then fast forwarding to where I'm trying to get my health right. I'm trying to exercise, which I'm mostly limited to walking and doing elliptical and stuff at the gym because of my weight, and I have a knee that gets sore on me. So I'm not going to push it and run and jog like I used to at a lighter weight. My barber, he has 10 years ago, he had a full weight loss surgery where they do the DS, where they do the bypass and the something switch, where they open you all the way up. And he's been successful. He was like 600 pounds. He's a lot shorter than me. And he showed me a picture. It's really surprising because I've never seen him that way. But he now I think he stays around 180 to 200 for his, and so for him, he's happy with that. And that changed his life, obviously. And so he's been he's the first person that mentioned to me, Ryan, is that something you ever considered doing? And maybe I asked about it a little bit, or I can't remember how it came up, but I remember at that time I was so surprised that somebody thought I was actually big enough, heavy enough, that I needed a weight loss surgery. And, I always felt like if I just exercise enough and I eat right, I can get it down. But over the years of trying that, I'd get it down a little bit, but it would just bounce right back up. So that was the first. It was an eye-opening experience at my barber, and he told me, he said, Ryan, I mean, you can lose weight, you can tone up, but I mean, to get down to where you're healthy enough, don't need to sleep apnea anymore, mask anymore when you sleep, it's gonna be really hard. So I took that, and we've talked, and he's still my barber. I wasn't mad about it. I was just surprised, and talked to the wife, and I had already spoken to my doctor about it. And he's all for it. He's always been all for it. My family doctor that I've had since I've got here, he's been all for that. So for looking into it, he had some people. He said, go to Santa Barbara, though we got some places nearby, but I say go to Santa Barbara. That's where they got a few at that are more well known and more experienced. So so that I kicked that around. That was about a year ago. And then about 4 months ago, so maybe a month before I had that first appointment in my surgeon's office on November 18th, I had a customer that was being helped by one of my other associates at where I work. And I said, I noticed her, and she said, hi, how's it going? I said, oh, pretty good. I said, I didn't almost recognize you. You've lost a lot of weight, huh? She said, yeah, I've lost 120 pounds. And I thought, wow, and so she goes on, and she was really excited, and she goes on telling me about what she did, what doctor she used, and I believe she did, at that time I wasn't sure the difference between vertical sleeve and Roux-en-Y. And so I think she did the Roux-en-Y, but she told me, she said, Ryan, people like us that are having these health issues and things like that, she said, I wouldn't change it for the world. This has been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I think you should look into it. And I said, I will. So she gave me the name and number of that doctor. I emailed them. They contacted me. I had an appointment within a month. I didn't go to one of the events where everybody goes in a group and you have an event. They do that nearby. But the girl that called me from the office said, you should just come in to meet our doctor and talk to him one-on-one. You'll get a little more out of it. So I said, okay. So I went up there and I met with this surgeon in Santa Barbara. And she right away said, that you're obese or morbidly obese. She told me the percentages, and I think it was 40-something percent, 48%, or something of my body fat weight to get to the BMI and for my height. Now, she went over the 3 options. She said, lap band, we don't really do that anymore. I can do it. I do it sometimes if people really request it, but it's something that we're phasing out. The 2 main things we do are microscopically, and it's the Roux-en-Y and it's the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. At that time, she showed me how both work. She had a graph and a chart. At that time, my thought process was kind of go big or go home. I don't want to do this a bunch of times. Like, let's just do it one time, get it over with. That was my thought process. Very uneducated at that time in the surgeries. She told me that, I said, well, doc, which one would you recommend? She says, I think the vertical sleeve. And I said, really? I was thinking R&Y because I don't want to do it one time and have it done. I don't want to have problems gaining weight in the future. Because she did mention to me that there's a higher percentage of people gain the weight back at vertical sleeve versus R&Y. And it's not a huge percentage, but I think 5 or 10% more. But she said, and then she instantly went, you know what? I think you're right. I think R&Y will be good for you. Either one will be fine. I think that you'll do well. Your body type and just talking to you, this is going to be good for you. And so we'll set you up. So I said, okay. So at that moment, I was thinking I'm going to have an R&Y. I was about 85% sure. I went on the way out of the office, met with the office manager. She set me a tentative appointment of February 24th for my surgery day. At that day, it was only November 18th. My surgery day ended up holding true, after approvals and everything. But what happened is I went home and I started doing a lot of research, and I decided after watching tons of YouTube videos, researching it on my own, that I can handle the rules of the vertical sleeve and what we need to do. And wasn't really super comfortable with having my intestines rerouted. So in the end, I decided vertical sleeve within about a week after that appointment. I called back to the office and told them that. And then I've been on that path ever since. So that's kind of how I got to the point of surgery. just to give you a little backup on that. Now, I didn't mention about health concerns that I had. There was one main thing is I started feeling a fear of having a heart attack. I have a young child. I have a boy. Maybe I never was one to have indigestion really bad, but I got it a couple of times when I was at near my heaviest weight recently, which is last year. And I started I remember being home one day in the apartment we used to live in, and I was home by myself while the wife and the kid were out shopping or doing something, and I started feeling chest pain, and it actually scared me. Where I thought, what if I just had a heart attack now and nobody's around? What would happen? And it really scared me. And so that was a fear. And then the last straw was a couple of months before I met the girl, just a couple of months ago, before I decided to do the surgery, before I met the girl that had the surgery and recommended her doctor. I went to the doctor's appointment. They said my triglycerides were insanely high. I think it was like 350 or 360, which I think it has to be 150. So it was insanely high. He said this is fat in the blood, and I'm no doctor. Something about higher fat content in the blood, and a good indicator of heart attacks are from triglycerides. So this absolutely freaked me out. And he says, I need to get you on this pill right away, once a day. And I was about to go on vacation to visit my parents in Oregon. And I just said, I can't do one more pill. I can't do another pill. I said, I'm going to have to figure out something else. And he said, well, here's what we can do, Ryan. He said, we can retest it, in a month or two, or in a month when you come back. I'm going to write the prescription. I do recommend you do it. But if you want to hold off, when you get back, wait a month, see if you can, get your health a little better, and go take another blood test, and we'll see what the results are. I said, all right. And I went on my trip, and I just decided, like I said, I'm not going to go one more day. I'm not going to take one more pill that would put me at 3 pills a day plus another additional one 3 times a week, the vitamin D. And that's just, I'm 33 years old. This is getting really, really bad. Sleep apnea is bad. I don't sleep. I'm tired a lot. I have my job takes a lot out of me. It's a production-driven business. It's not a physical job. I mentioned what I do in the past. I'm going to kind of keep it vague right now, but it just, all our jobs take a lot out of us, and mine's stressful. They have goals and results that need to be done. So that was my last straw, and that's what led me to get in this room and led me right here, right now, where I'm 1 week post-op. Thank goodness. So let's move on. How am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really good. Physically, I'm already able to do things that I couldn't before. And simple things like reach down and grab something on the ground. Like, that's something that bothered me when I play with my son a lot. Obviously, he's small. He's 3. And we go outside and we play any kind of football or basketball or baseball or tennis, whatever. He likes to play sports. So we kind of hit the ball around the backyard or whatever. And I have to reach down a lot and pick up things or pick him up. And it was kind of hard. It's still not easy. And I can't pick any heavy things up right now at this phase, but just grabbing small, light things or grabbing my shoes off the ground, way easier. Even in the shower, just washing myself, I feel like I'm more flexible and able to move. Just all these little things. I'm walking, so walking's been good. I'm having some energy issues though. I notice throughout the day sometimes I start feeling tired, and that possibly is by a couple things. I think maybe because of the low amount of calories I'm taking in, or I'm not having a lot of sustenance in my food. I put my body through a lot a week ago, but it might just be I haven't got a ton of sleep. I've been sleeping on my bed, my actual bed, for the last couple of days, 2-3 days for the most part. But other than that, I was sleeping on a recliner or my couch propped up because I couldn't sleep on my side. But so some energy issues. I'm walking every day. I started from day one. I walked 15 times, 20 times more than any other weight loss surgery patient. And there was a lot of them on my floor at the hospital. And that's been something that's helped me from the beginning. Every day I've walked a little more. I started just doing 1 block, then I did 2 blocks, and then 3 blocks. I go about 2 or 3 times a day. And now I'm doing, 6 to 8 blocks, I might extend it. It might be a little longer. Plus I go up hills where I live, but So that's pretty good. And then one thing I want to get into for some of you newer people too, what am I eating? So for the most part, I do protein shakes. I do the Premier Protein that Costco has. I get it from Walmart, and I like the Walmart's better because it's got the actual top on it that you twist off versus the little flap you pull. Little side note. But I do that. I got the vanilla and the chocolate. I like the chocolate. The vanilla I don't like on its own. I did try the vanilla today in a protein shake. I blended it with a few pieces of ice, half a banana, a little bit of peanut butter, and about a half of the vanilla protein, and it tasted pretty good. I think the peanut butter was a little rich, so my stomach is a little afterward, but it's fine an hour later right now. Broth, I'm not a huge fan of the plain broth, so I've had to get creative. I do have some broth. And you know what? Let me pause this. I'm going to grab a few things to show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so I wanted to tell you, basically drinking lots of water. Water is the #1 key. I haven't had problems drinking water. Some people have. Mine has been kind of fine from the beginning. I've gradually been able to drink more and more and more. I haven't had a problem where if I gulp too fast, but I just drink slow. Also, I drink liquid, clear energy drinks like ISO-Pure. This one is the Alpine Punch. I actually haven't tried the Alpine Punch yet. Oh no, I did. I tried that one. That one's pretty good. 40 grams of protein. This one here is actually not bad either, and it's cheaper at GNC. It's called Protein Ice, and it's got more grams of protein. This one's flavored blue raspberry. Similar stuff though. And this is the Premier Protein I was talking about. I noticed that the Costco ones I see you guys have don't have this top, and I do like that top to drink out of versus the little flip open one. But that's it. I got the vanilla and the chocolate. Also, another thing that's been really good for me is Vitamin Water Zero. This has been really, really good. They're been on sale for like $1 at the store, and it has a couple of carbs. That's the thing. At least this one does. This is the one I like the most, especially in the morning. I drink it almost like it's kind of a morning orange juice thing, because this one's flavor is, it's called Rise. Won't zoom in there, but it's called Rise, and it's orange. But I got a few different flavors. The lemonade and this one are kind of the ones I do when I'm just tired of drinking water. Then as far as the broth goes, one suggestion I want to make, and I don't know if anybody's ever tried this, is I didn't like necessarily just getting I just had the Safeway brand plain chicken broth, and it was okay, but it just, I just couldn't enjoy it enough to where I would get myself to do it. And I got tired. You get tired of all these sweet things, so you want something salty or savory. So I did the broth. My wife came home for lunch one day, and she was making a soup. It was just a top ramen, I think. And I said, pour a little bit of that broth in a cup. I want to try that. And I actually liked that broth a lot better. And it had more to it, more flavor. And it's not as plain, so maybe it's not as good for you. But at this point, you just need flavor. You just need things you can get down. I went to the store and I looked for something that I can get without having to waste noodles for top ramen, and I found this. This says better than bouillon, beef base. It's expensive. It's like $6 for this little thing. But all you do is you boil some water and you take a little teaspoon of this, drop it in, it boils in, and it makes beef broth that tastes really good. They have other flavors, but I tried the beef. I've had this a couple of times, and it definitely makes it much more enjoyable. So whatever you can do to get your broths down, I say go for it. All right, speaking of soups, I wanted to show you a soup I picked up at Trader Joe's yesterday. It's called Sweet Potato Bisque. I've seen somebody else had it on their YouTube, and they said they liked it. This is something I would never try before surgery and when I'm not on a liquid diet. But I just want to have savory things right now, that at least once or twice a day, where I'm not drinking protein shakes or water or, stuff like that. So we'll try it, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But that's it for the foods. I'm going to go ahead and do a body shot now, so you can see what I look like now, 43 pounds lost in a few months, or the more recent weight. Okay. So this is me here. This shirt is a 3X. This shirt is a 3X here, and it's already pretty loose on me now, as you can see. But so yeah, lost a lot of that extra belly weight that I had, and feeling pretty good. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the new followers. Just going to keep chugging away and keep getting a little bit better every day. That's what I'd say to anybody who's new or is going to go through this. The first day was really rough for me, but every day I've gotten a little bit better, and that's all you really want to focus. That's what you want to hope for, is just get a little bit better every day, drinking your water, getting your exercise, and doing things you can. All right, you guys have fun. Peace.